Welcome back. Our session on industrial plantations of the African Peoples Tribunal APT, which held in Lagos, has ended after hearing 10 cases from different countries in the continent of Africa, about 10 of them actually, including Liberia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and Gabon, and of course other African countries. Now, the tribunal, which is an initiative of Friends of the Earth Africa, seeks to unlock access to justice for peoples and communities who have suffered a lot of deprivation in terms of human rights abuses, labor rights abuses, land grabs, and other affronts in different African countries. Now, let's take you through the cases and, of course, the verdict as passed by the African Peoples Tribunal. The African Peoples Tribunal APT on industrial plantations was set up by Friends of the Earth Africa to unblock access to justice for peoples and communities across the continent who have suffered land grabs, displacements, contamination of their environment, human and labor rights abuses, and gender-based violence, among other affronts.
Yeah, a lot of human rights abuses are flourishing in different territories and landscapes in Nigeria, in Africa, in all parts of Africa, as a matter of fact. And this is things like dislocation of communities from their ancestral lands because of land grabbing, resulting from collection of people's lands and farmlands and forested landscape for industrial agro-commodities businesses. So a lot of people are evicted from their lands. A lot of livelihoods are truncated as a result of this land grabbing and dangerous eco-business, because people depend on forests for food, for medicine, for shelter. And when this resource is taken away from them, they fall back to nothing. And this is what APT is trying to project, to hear the voices of community people that are directly impacted by the operations of this company, and also to call the owners and financiers of these companies, hold them accountable.
The African Peoples Tribunal is a tribunal that is set up to interrogate the activities of multinational corporations engaged in forest reserve extraction, forest resources extraction from Africa, coming by different conglomerates, but all doing the same business of extracting from our forest resources in Africa in such a way that the communities where this extraction happens are complaining about the activities of these multinationals in their respective communities, localities, and countries.
This is an event, a very important historic event that will serve as a reference point in the struggle for the liberation of our environment, of our economy, of our forests, and of our communities.
10 cases from 10 African countries were received by the jurors, who were drawn from 5 African countries, including Nigeria. The cases were presented through written and oral submissions by representatives of affected communities and their ally organizations.
I'm a Wilma Walker. It was on the 10th June 2019. I had a broken leg. They called my supervisor. My supervisor sent a safety now used ambulance. They picked me, went to the company clinic. They used the ambulance, picked me down to the General Hospital, Calabar, Cross River State. They dumped me. Till now, they have not treated me. The man came to the hospital. 2 weeks, my leg started to swell up. So as the leg started negating, from there my people took me to another orthopedic for the bone specialist. They treat. Till now, no salary, no treatment. They sacked me. Even though they saw me on the way, they would threaten me. Till now. That was the reason why I came to this place, said, please, they should help me.
What we intend to achieve with this tribunal, first, is to use this opportunity to galvanize the cacophony of voices of oppressed peoples of Africa, victimized peoples of Africa, coming together to present their cases so that we look through it with the lens of the tribunal to see if the complaints are the same, if the practices are the same, if the benefits and the, victimization practices are the same. And if we, at the end of the day, come out with the understanding that it is the same, then it offers us opportunity of speaking as one, irrespective of our countries of origin, but as Africans. Two, to speak to these companies, because we know that most of them are of European and other, American, Asian origin, but they are not of African origin. To speak to them with one voice, and then to use this opportunity, to make a call to the African heads of states and governments that, look, your primary responsibility as governments is to protect the interest of your people, first and foremost. That is what the constitution of every African country says.
In all cases regarding land grabs, the African Peoples Tribunal saw the connivance between governments and transnational corporations to grab community lands in Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, and Sierra Leone. Affected communities complained of lack of consultation before their lands were appropriated by governments and without adequate compensation.
You've explained that these chemicals, of course, wash into the water bodies and cause a lot of contamination. Now, my question is, does the company warn the communities about when they're going to spray? Do they tell them how to protect themselves? Do they care what happens to the people?
The company hide the truth. They hide the truth from the community.
Alors, ils cachent la vérité
More dangerously, we met some of the workers who are involved in the spraying.
Et le plus dangereux, c'est que nous avons rencontré certains travailleurs qui s'impliquent dans l'aspersion.
They are not giving any protection.
Other cases of violation of rights, socio-economic dislocations, and environmental harm across communities in Africa were also heard, after which the tribunal passed its verdict.
The African Peoples Tribunal recommends that the governments in the relevant countries should immediately set up a mechanism to review existing arrangements with plantation corporations, openly and transparently engage with communities, and revert wrongfully acquired lands and forests to the communities. Governments should ensure that communities have unfettered access to their lands and abolish the requirement of passes of visas as a requirement for entry into their territories and communities. Governments should ensure the community access to potable water and protect their right to water. Governments should abolish the use of harmful chemicals in forests, in plantations, and on community lands. The African Peoples Tribunal reaffirms that the states have the primary responsibility for ensuring environmental protection and defending the human, environmental, and other rights of the people.
The tribunal, among other recommendations, wants governments of the 10 countries to urgently ensure that human rights of the affected citizens and communities are respected and protected.